Yo, happy Friday, y'all. September 10th, 21, Halfcast 126, episode 126. Yeah. I have a few things to share with you people, and I feel great. Yeah, you love to see it. You love to see it. First and foremost, I want to say bye-bye to the goddamn summertime. All that 95 degrees, 97, 98, 100 degrees felt like it sure felt good this morning to wake up. And before you even make a move, you're already sweating and all that. It's all people catching attitudes and all that because it's hot. It's just air. The air is crisp. You can feel the air. You can just leave your window open. You don't need no AC and nothing. You sleep better. You wake up feeling better. Yes, I am a goddamn fall baby. Not that you care. So I don't know. To people, have you it's a stupid question. It's a very stupid question. But have you ever been so tired that anywhere you sit, anywhere that you just have idle time for, I don't know, anything over 3 minutes, you find yourself Deuce Bigelow? You find yourself nodding off like, oh yeah, that's been me for like the past 2 days. So, and I don't have to do anything tomorrow, not necessarily. So I'm going to crash heavy. Sleep is very, very, very important for your mood and just your overall thinking and everything. I got some stories for y'all. Who's first? Who's batting first? Oh yeah, this shit. Anti-mask activist invokes Nuremberg trials to defend standing against mask updates. And masking, I'm slightly familiar with the Nuremberg trials. This is some Nazi and I'm gonna give you a better definition of the trials for those of you who are not exactly familiar, but it's dealing with the World War II, the war on Nazis, and in her, be it that she's using this to compare having to put a mask on. It just really stood out to me because it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. The Nuremberg trials, off the top of my head, they're between October and November 1946, and I think they executed 12 defendants, and they let a couple. They gave a few life in prison. They gave a few jail time, and they let some go. And I think one of them killed themselves before they had a chance to get executed. Let's see how close I am. Let's see how close I am. Let's see here. Homework, baby. Homework. This is the History Channel. Held for the purpose of bringing Nazi war criminals to justice. The Nuremberg trials were a series of 13 trials carried out in Nuremberg, Germany between 1945 and 1949. Okay, so I was wrong there. The defendants, who included Nazi party officials and high-ranking military officers, along with, okay, so you get the point. I mean, you get the point. So what does this have to do with wearing masks, you say? Exactly. What does that have to do with anything with wearing masks? But this is just how people are, so they just want to be right. Like anti-mask activists, shouted and implied that the mask mandates were comparable to the crimes that Nazis were judged for during the Nuremberg trials. How were they killed like 6, 7 million people? Okay, they killed. Yeah, okay, let's make sure I'm reading this. Let's make sure I'm interpreting this right. An anti-mask activist shouted and implied that mask mandates were comparable to the crimes that Nazis were judged for during the Nuremberg trials during a school. This is school board meeting. You're really going to bring this up at a school board meeting? Yo, I thought this was in front of the house or on the representative. I thought this was on Capitol Hill. This is why I shouldn't really read ahead on stuff like this. Right? They said it's a fucking school board meeting. Yeah. So now for people who decided to bring their children along, or if their children were just so now for people who decided to bring their children along, or if their children were just along by like happenstance, they're gonna have to explain what the Nuremberg trials was to their kids. Jeez. Oh my God. How is this okay? So if you're enforcing a mask mandate, whereas I'm going to say the kids have to wear a mask in school, so the worst thing that can happen is a kid actually has COVID-19, or a kid actually has a regular cold. Let's not forget these things exist also. Let's not forget that a kid might just have, or if a kid has a cough, if a kid has the flu or COVID, let's say a kid has anything, or you, an adult, or anybody in the facility has anything, the worst thing that will happen is that it keeps the spreading to a minimum of him or her transmitting it to another person. That's the worst thing that's gonna happen. Now, I mean, it's gonna contain it. That's the worst thing that can happen is that. So where does you going on trial as a teacher for making a kid wear a mask and it actually prevents someone from getting sick? How does that translate into you at massacring millions of people at the hands of a tyrant? I often I do these stories for a few reasons, and one of them is to maybe if I get it out loud, if I say it out loud, if I read it, if I bounce it a few times, maybe in a way it makes sense to me. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm more confused than I was when I first came in. Activist Aaron, this is what you call an activist, really? Activist Aaron DiMaggio gave a short but fiery speech focused on mass and COVID-19 conspiracy theories during Tuesday's tours. How did they even let this lunatic get the floor? Know what I mean? Like, yeah, California Unified School District Board meeting. It was fucking schools. I thought they were talking in front of a court like a real like Senate. DiMaggio ended her speech by insisting that mask requirements in schools were criminal and warning those that who blindly follow the rules could be executed like the Nazis who were convicted of war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity following World War. So wearing a mask is the equivalent of a crime against humanity. Where does this add? It's just not adding up. It's apples and oranges, baby. It's apples and oranges, baby. Yeah, you paid your dues. Did your son pay his dues to the school board? Yeah. Well, you know what? We got free coffee over there. On you have a coffee and a donut and sit down and let's talk about new school books like this meeting should fucking be. The hell is wrong with you, man? Hey, you want to turn this shit into a crazy platform. Like we know that COVID-19 is less severe than the flu. DiMaggio falsely claimed it is criminal what you are doing by keeping our children in masks and teaching them to live in fear of one another for the breath. Well, I don't know. I smelled somebody breath through their mask today. And you're and just from that part of the statement I just read coming from you, Mr. Maggio, yeah, I smelled somebody's breath from like downwind, like for real, like through the mask. So yeah, it is actually something to fear. To live in fear of one another for the breath that is given to us by God. All world religions recognize the breath as the spirit. Come on. We want to make it religious. We want to make it political. You know what, Ms. DiMaggio, why don't you just wade into the ocean with no scuba gear and just go swim with the dolphins and the sharks and see and see what happens when you don't have any breath. Have your breath taken away from you. That's what should be the like what happens when the breath that you're I don't know. I can't explain how stupid it is. We know from history that those who blindly follow the rules, she continued while board members said that her time they said her time was expired. I guess they should have cut her mic off or played the music like they do in the Oscars during the Nuremberg trials. They were shot, they were killed. DiMaggio spent the bulk of her time demanding that board president Betty Lou, the wife of U.S. Representative Ted Lieu, look at me, look at me, look at you want to make eye contact. Don't ever make eye contact with a fucking lunatic. Like, yeah, look at her multiple times and basically claiming that COVID-19 is part of a government conspiracy designed to boost pharmaceutical sales. Jesus Christ. You know what's messed up is that she's so wild and she's so out of pocket with it that even if this last part about a government conspiracy designed to boost pharmaceutical sales, if it was true, then like the people that should have been listening don't listen because they're like, oh, she's a nut. Like she's a nut. Yeah. Miss Lou, I would like you to please look at me. Look at me. You've been looking at your computer. Yeah, she's texting her husband like, yo, why did I ever sign up for this job? Like, yeah, just because you're representative now, I gotta be, yeah. Miss Lou, look at me. Look at me. Why nobody heard her out? What you have demonstrated is a mentality of power a mentality of power instead of power with Miss Lou. You again are not looking at me. Do you feel that? Yeah, this is this is it's a group of walls that's gonna at the end of it, they just got they flash in their purse and they're just like, oh, that was a rough one. That was a rough one. This lady's crazy. Despite a repeated comparison led to Green issuing a public apology. Yeah, damn. Despite her repeated comparisons sparking outrage that led to Green issuing other masking opponents have made comparisons between the genocidal action, notably Representative this. You cannot, and I'm not going to get into things that happen there because I don't feel like being in an upset mood this Friday. But those things were horrible. This is just you wear your mask, and maybe there's a chance that you can hinder the spread of COVID-19, or maybe it'll at least help contain it. Now, I mean, nothing is guaranteed, but anything is better than just going out and all is implying to me, that's all that this whole thing is implying is a mask. Maybe, maybe you stop the spread. Maybe you contain it to just yourself. Maybe you stop someone from giving it to you. That's all it is. It's just a small measure of prevention it's so easy and it doesn't really come on. Children, once again, we're fucking acting like children about this. Next up, get this crazy lady off my screen before she pop up on my computer. Like, and then look at me. Look at me. Why nobody carried her wacky ass out? I do not understand. That would have been the highlight of the story. Next up, Maryland judge investigation reportedly kills himself. Yo, if that's not an admission, that's a nonverbal admission of guilt. That is because you knew whatever you was doing was dead wrong. A Maryland judge accused of using a hidden camera to record children in the bathroom at his fishing cabin died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot Friday as federal agents were moving in to arrest him. Wow. You know what's really messed up is that you know what's really messed up is that somewhere somebody's parents trusted this man to take him up to the cabin to go fishing. Is that there's a community of people who thought that he could do no wrong, and he actually had to trust the people and a respected member of the community. And this is really scary right here to have people around us like this. Now, I mean, like a Maryland judge accused of a hidden camera, using a hidden camera to record children in a bathroom at his fishing cabin, died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot Friday. And this is like you would actually trust somebody like this. Oh, that's the judge. He takes the kids up every weekend. They go fishing during the summer, a few weeks out of the summertime. Man, and it's a nice thing to do. They bring them down. They come back, teach them how to fish, and like yeah. And it seems like you would think that it would be a great thing, right? No, because judge is goddamn pervert. Jonathan Gray. No, it's not funny, but he's a fucking pervert. 50 served as a circuit judge in Caroline County on the state's eastern shore. Criminal records unsealed this week revealed that when Newell was first questioned by investigators at his cabin in July, he was allowed to go to his bedroom to ostensibly charge his mobile phone, but instead alleged to have ingested an SD memory card he had furtively removed from the camera. Wow. Wow. Come on, man. The investigator heard a loud, indistinguishable crunch sound from the area of Newell's mouth. Ooh, and the agent wrote in a criminal, an agent wrote in a criminal complaint. After another minute or two, the investigator heard the same crunch again from Newell's mouth, followed by Newell immediately reaching for and drinking from a cup located on his dresser. How many of these shits did you eat? Like, yeah, the next SD card is only like what, this big? Like, yeah. So what were you in there? Like, what did you have? Like a bag of them? The next day on, that would be hard. But we had a bag. The next day on with the warrant for CT scans of Newell's abdomen and pelvis, investigators escorted the judge to a nearby hospital. The images taken were described in a medical report cited in the FBI complaint. 18 millimeter linear, possibly metallic, foreign body within the small bowel diagnosis, foreign body ingestion. You couldn't even, you had a whole day to pass that. You couldn't let it, you drink some prune juice or some cabbage or some greens or something to like flush that. Well, I'm glad he didn't because they wouldn't have caught his ass. But that shit was still sitting in the bottom of his stomach. He thought he was safe. No further details about the SD card were stated in a complaint. Federal authorities briefly described how the judge died Friday morning as FBI agents closed in. Upon entering the residence, the agents found Newell suffering from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, said in a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland. He was pronounced dead at 6:43 a.m. Wow. Yeah, they could. His family members could not be reached or declined to comment Friday, which has to be like one of the worst things for you as a wife or as a child or a surviving member of the family to go through when you're a public figure and the media is wants you to come up and talk about like and in most cases this shit is new. Like you find out if you somebody's wife, you figure out like why he was doing this. I thought he was you don't even know. You just as surprised as everybody else. But which is investigating. And Joseph Riley, the top prosecutor in Caroline County, confirmed the judge's death was self-inflicted. Wow. Born in Chestertown, Newell owned a philosophy degree from Washington College. He became a judge in 2016. Damn. Newell also spent time at a cabin in Fishy Creek, Maryland, and sometimes hosted juvenile guests overnight, according to court records. And everybody that has a parent that ever sent them up there to spend the night or spend a weekend with them is probably like, what if they did something to my boy or to my girl? The morning of July 23rd, a teenage boy, approximately 15, entered a bathroom adjacent to Newell's bedroom shower. He noticed what appeared to be a little camera with a green blinking light on a corner shelf tucked inside a small black utility crate. Record state the boy took pictures of it with his cell phone, according to the records. Wow. He went to find another teen to tell him about the camera. That's when he saw Newell go into the bathroom and retreat to his bedroom with several items in his hand, according to the FBI criminal complaint. Wow. They got rid of yeah, he tried to eat the evidence. Wow. Investigators spoke with 9 teenagers who had been to Newell's cabin, home, or both. Some had known Newell since elementary school. The boys said they showered in Newell's bathrooms and that he regularly came in to check their bodies for ticks. Really? Dude, really? The criminal complaint filed Thursday charged Newell with 1 count of sexual exploitation of a child. It was the next morning, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, that FBI agents arrived at his Henderson home to try to arrest him. But they couldn't detain him after figuring that he got rid of evidence. Maybe that would have saved his life. At least, yeah, I'm going to detain you because under suspicion of you're tampering with evidence or something. Come on, you're the FBI. You make shit up all the time. Come on, this is the legal system. You make shit up all the time. That could have saved his life. Yeah. That's when you know somebody has done something that they know like you can't come back. Like I gotta face the community, I gotta face my family, I gotta face the world for this shit. And then on top of that, I'm going to jail and I'm a judge. Oh, damn. See, here's next. Well, here's what's next. Where's my juice? My non-alcoholic beverage this fine Friday evening. Bronx robbers and high-end shoes rob men of cash, designer sneakers. That sounds like some Bronx shit. A group of fashion-conscious Bronx crooks and high-end kicks robbed 2 men, stealing designer sneakers right off of one victim's feet. One thing I'll never understand about this, we got our fads, we got our styles, we got our everything, every generation, not even a whole generation, just every few years things change. What This is cool, this is in, this is out, and the shit happens. But one thing I never understood is I don't care how popular a pair of sneakers is. Once somebody's wore them on their feet, once that's officially your pair of sneakers, I don't care what they are. I don't want them anymore. If I can't cop them out the box, if I can't wear them brand new for my own self, then I don't want nothing that's been pre-worn or worn once or in okay condition or good as new or slightly used or refurbished. I don't want none of that shit. It's the feeling of being able to pop a fresh pair of shoes brand new out of the box for yourself that really, but hey, everybody got their hobbies, man. A group of the video from the August 12th caper, I was watching the video, that shit funny as hell, shows the 2 victims, 40 and 36, standing on Franklin Ave by East 169th Street and Morrisania about 1:10 a.m. when 3 men flanked them, one of them carrying what looks like a gun. All three suspects are wearing pristine footwear, with one of them sporting what appears to be Balenciaga sneakers, which go for about $800 a pair. Yeah. The victims immediately comply with the trio, offering up their money, their jewelry, and a phone. One of the victim lets one robber take all the cash out of his wallet, and after the bandit hands him back to empty the wallet, gives him a friendly fist bump. What the fuck is this, man? The other victim steps out of his bright yellow sneakers so the robbers can take them. As the monkey goes on, a passerby across the street walks up to the men, then quickly turns and walks away. Yeah, yeah. The trio fled in two cars. So how you drive up on somebody to take a pair of sneakers? I don't know. A black Infiniti sedan heading west on 169 Peach Street, and a silver Lexus sedan that went north. Yeah, so that they just robbing around, just they just looking to get anything. Just riding around at 1 in the morning, stealing sneakers off people's feet. Jesus Christ. An 800 pair of dollars. I'm old, man. I'm old. An 800 pair of dollars. I mean, like, if you can afford it and you want to treat yourself, go on ahead. By all means, please enjoy. But for me, $800 for a pair of sneakers that somebody's just going to rob you for anyway. Yeah, 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 yeah. Why would I? Yeah. Can't you see, dude? Can't you see, dude? I can see him riding around right now looking for somebody with an $800 pair of sneakers on. They like, oh, well, you got the money. Why don't you buy them? What are you, stupid? What are you, stupid? Why would I pay $800 for a pair of kicks when I could just catch somebody that bought them already? Know what I mean? And I keep my $800 for things that are really important. It's the first of the month. Rents due. I still want to look fly though. Yeah, I'm gonna let them all buy the sneakers for me, and then I'm just gonna take them. Yeah, that's it. Hey, fuck, that's a hell of a plan. Two Florida teens allegedly inspired by Columbine massacre arrested for planning middle school mass shooting. When I was a teenager, all these years ago, I swear I never thought about shooting at nothing. But what we want to do? We hit the hit the basketball court, shoot hoops, what, smoke a little bit of weed, chase girls around, be interested in girls, what, video games were just starting to hit the scene, just starting to hit the scene. That was pretty cool. But planning on shooting up a school, maybe if you don't like one person, you get into a scuffle with them, and that's that. But yeah, what are these kids on, man? Like, we just gonna shoot up the whole school. Damn. Okay. Shit. We just school just started. Who pissed you off that bad already? Damn, you know what you should do, man. You know what makes you go, if you're a guy, if you're a boy in school, just go to class and just say hi. Say hi to a nice looking girl. Say hello. I don't know if it'll work or not, but shit, man. Talk to people. This sounds like people that's living on the edge and just like they think they ain't got no friends because they shit. Yeah, make some friends. I don't know. A pair of Florida middle schoolers seemingly fascinated by the Columbine high school massacre were allegedly planning a similar mass shooting on their own campus. Why? The violence was put to an end before it could begin by a teacher at Horns Marsh Middle School in Lehigh Acres who received a tip on Wednesday about a possible weapon concealed in the student's backpack. A search of his locker did not turn up any weapons, but school resource officers did discover a map that contains markings indicated the location of each of the school's interior cameras. Damn. Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino said during a press briefing Thursday afternoon, this could have been the next Parkland massacre, but we stopped them in the planning stages. Good for you, he said, referencing the 2018 mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, which left 17 people dead. Damn. 13-year-old boy and his 14-year-old classmate were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit a mass shooting after a preliminary investigation. But at 13 and 14 years old, I wouldn't even be thinking about that, which revealed both. What was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I was into what? Drawing? I was, yeah, what? I think I had a Nintendo or something. What the fuck? Yeah, shooting somebody, studying every. You see shit like that on TV. Investigators said the boys were inspired by the gunman Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, who murdered a dozen classmates and a teacher before killing themselves in a school library on some, what the hell type of shit that was. Authorities also accused the teen boys of learning how to make pipe bombs and researching how to purchase firearms off the black market. Do you know that with this type of stuff that you're looking to do that's destructive, if you're that bored, you can like build a game console. Or yeah, if you can make something like this, you can build a game console. You could build something that's cutting edge and make a shit ton of money off of it and be rich by the time you get 21. No, you want to shoot up a goddamn school. Deputies searching the teens' homes uncovered a gun and several knives, according to the Lee County Sheriff's Office. What are these kids so angry about nowadays? Like, I'm just gonna shit all up. Damn. What did you write? You write her one of those notes that says, "Do you like me? Yes or no?" And she put big no. Big no. Shake it off, man. Shake it off. What's next? This is my last story. How we do time? 31 minutes. Because I've been running long the past couple days. DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats sue New York City over delivery fee caps, which I want to call it John Gotti, Lucky Luciano, and Bonanno. The mafia, the mob figures, man. I know somewhere something's inaccurate in that statement, but you get what I'm saying. DoorDash, Grubhub, and Eats are suing New York City over its decision to make pandemic era caps on the fees they charge because they seen what happened in Chicago. So now they trying to strike first before what happened in Chicago. Yeah, they try to do the reverse. I mean, smart, but I see right through it, baby. On the fees they charge restaurants permanent. The companies argue that the restrictions amount to government overreach and ultimately hurt consumers. Yeah, I don't want to pay $30. I don't want to have to use Grubhub and pay $30 for a $12 cheesesteak. Yeah, like come on. I mean, you're price gouging and you're price gouging. It's it's become clear that now with the pandemic in a lot of places, and it has become a lifeline for businesses with that otherwise would have had to close down because there was no eat-in. There was no eat-in for a while, and there's still no eat-in for a lot of places all across the country. So these services have become a lifeline, but now you're getting greedy. Damn it. Now you're getting greedy. New York City last year started restricting what third-party platforms can charge for delivery services as a way to help restaurants cope with pandemic restrictions. It's supposed to be, yeah, under the rules, the platforms can bill restaurants 15% of a given order for delivery plus an additional 5% for fees other than credit card fees. Wow. Like marketing, which are tacked on as well. The city council voted in late August to make the limitations permanent. DoorDash, which owns Caviar, Grubhub, owner of Seamless. I didn't know that. Yeah, and 48 LLC, the Uber subsidiary that operates Uber Eats and Postmates. I did not know that. Learn new shit every day, baby. Filed the lawsuit Thursday in federal court in the Southern District of New York. In addition to damages, they are seeking an injunction against the city, preventing it from enforcing the rule. Wow. The ordinance is unconstitutional because, among other things, it interferes with freely negotiated contracts between platforms and restaurants by changing and dictating the economic terms on which a dynamic industry operates. You're trying to gouge these people for prices. Like I said, I don't want to have to order like 12 mozzarella sticks and end up paying $35 for an order. Yeah, and then on top of that, they got a nerve to have a tip button at the bottom. Get the fuck out of here. A permanent cap likely means that they will have to renegotiate or end contract with restaurants and scale back some services, the plaintiff said in the suit. It would also likely mean raising fees for people who order delivery. They want, oh, this is nasty. This is really nasty. It would also likely mean raising fees for people who order delivery they warned in a lawsuit. Okay, well, you know what? What happens? Okay, well, let's say we'll fuck you in a third party, and then we'll just go back to using our own delivery drivers. Man, how about that? How about that? And shit that, and instead of what we pay and what we're paying you, what we're paying you, we'll pay these delivery drivers. We'll get a team. We won't have 2 or 3 drivers. We'll have like 10, and they'll blow you out of the fucking water. Left unchecked, the ordinance sets a dangerous precedent. They wrote in a suit. See, you can see the yo, because the Styles Peace song says fuck the middle, because the middle do a lot and a little. Know what I mean? So I can use, there's always a way to cut the goddamn middleman. Now I'll hire my own, I'll go back to hiring my own delivery drivers and just say fuck you all together. Then what happens? Like, yeah, just put a team together. That's all. Left unchecked and pay them. Yeah. Left unchecked, the ordinance sets a dangerous precedent. They wrote in the suit. The initiative is legally sound and will defend it in court. Oh, they ready. Oh, shit. The city's law department told CNN Business in response to a request for a comment on shit. This is going to get nasty. I want to keep up with this. It sounds like, yeah, whatever they seen was happening in Chicago, it's like, oh no, they're not about to do that to us. We're going to strike first. And yeah, you got to respect it. The that's the privilege of being able to own a business in America. That's what comes with that. The authority to talk shit back if you don't like, to set your rules, to set a line. Know what I mean? That's it. To negotiate or to non-negotiate, to tell the other person to just fuck off. Know what I mean, yo, I'm gonna wrap this up. Fun show. Fun show. I'm gonna wrap this up. Know what I mean, like, yo, don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to like, subscribe, comment on the page. Also, you can reach out to me on Twitter at Rise and Shine, RYEZSHYNE. Link to my webpage is in the bio. Podcast. It has the audio and video versions of each episode. Going back to, the video goes back to, like, I don't know, like episode 85. And the rest goes all the way, and the audio goes all the way back to episode uno. Man, so link in bio. Instagram, Taco Meat 05, TACOMEAT, also link in bio. And Facebook Messenger, reach out to me, or my Facebook page, link in bio, has a few other has a few of the older videos on there also. Yo, I fucks with y'all. Know what I mean? Don't let nobody tell you not to wear your mask. Adios.